From groundbreaking research to the conversations shaping the future of AI. This is Ekaterina, covering the ICLR 2026 Conference for Women in AI Research.
Could you please introduce yourself?
Okay, yeah. Hi, my name is Naimeng. I'm a fourth-year PhD student at Columbia, and my work is on speculative actions. So the point of this work is that we want to speed up agentic workflow. So the bottleneck usually comes from the agents needing to observe the updated environment before deciding what to do next. So there's a sequential nature to most of these agentic workflows. Now we're exactly trying to break that sequential nature by introducing parallelism through speculation. So what happens is in this very simple agent playing chess scenario, in the non-speculative setting, you're going to start with a board, and then the actor observes this board, reasons for some time about its next action, and then commits to this action, and this process goes on and on. And instead, what we do is in the speculative setting, I'm going to launch actor just as in the non-speculative setting. So this reasons exactly as in the standard pipeline, except in addition, I'm going to launch a speculator in parallel. So this is all happening at the same time. Now my speculator is going to launch k parallel speculations, and these speculations are going to update the boards, resulting in new candidate states. So based on these like new candidate updated states, I'm going to launch actor on top of this for each of the speculative actions. So now, once my main actor finally finishes reasoning and returns an action, I'm going to validate my speculative branches against this action. I'm going to kill everything that's non-matching, and then keep everything that is matching. Right. So at this point, I'm going to keep my reasoning, and because at this point I have already started the reasoning for this ahead of time, I'm arriving at the same point as in a non-speculative setting, but with less time. So this key point is that I'm speculating quickly. So I'm moving this step ahead of time to parallelize with the previous steps.
Right. So in this case, I guess both actor and speculator are LLM agents, right?
Yeah. So in this case, in chess case,
and but it could be the human as well.
Yeah.
When it's actor. So if it is a human, how do you proceed here with the several different predictions?
Right. So for example, in this e-commerce setting, right? What happens is in this interaction, virtual interaction, you're conversing with a customer, and what you guess is, what your speculator is going to guess is what the customer is going to ask you. So you're speculating the user's intention. And then here, what the important thing is, like, after I guess what the customer wants, I'm going to launch the API call necessary to answer that query ahead of time. So in this case, you were speculating like a human. And then the point is, I want this next step API calls to match had I actually observed the code.
I see. That's interesting. So what about the results?
All right. Yeah. So we actually implemented this in chess, and there's we observed like significant hit accuracy and then some reasonable amount of time saved. And then, as expected, as you increase the number of speculative branches, both of these increase. And in the e-commerce on both setting, we're testing against the API calls that you would have launched compared with your speculated, based on your speculated query like user intention. And like as you can see here, it's like kind of reasonable to assume that the speculator can guess to some extent with some like reasonable accuracy. So in most cases, you can expect like reasonable speed.
I see. Have you tried to do any experiments to compare the sizes of the model that are involved?
Yeah. So in general, we did a lot of combination testing. So in the chess setting, what happens is actually what works the best is when the actor say this is GP5 with high reasoning. What works best is actually the same GP5, but with low reasoning and a specific prompt to make it faster. So these two are actually the same model, except with different reasoning levels. We can also do this with GP5 Nano, for example, but in this specific setting, it did not perform as well. Also in like all these settings, we tested like different combinations. I guess one other thing that works pretty well is you don't have to have one single speculator. You have multiple ones, like all contributing to the speculations, and when those speculators are different families, I usually work with.
I see. What about this graph? What is that about?
Yeah, so this is so all of this is because you validate this strictly lossless, right? So this will give you the exact same trajectory as really lossless. However, in the setting we explored, when you actually don't care that much about full losslessness. So in this setting, what we're doing is we're parameter tuning a particular big granularity in loss. So there are three systems. In the actor-only setting, because the actor is deliberate and slow, but it's very powerful, we're gonna explore and then converge very slowly to the optimal version. Whereas speculator, it's fast, but it's not as deliberate and not as powerful. So it just kind of it converges very quickly, but it kind of resides outside of the optimal region. And what happens is we propose this after plus speculator. So the speculator is gonna deploy very quickly. So you're actually tuning this, right? So this is not strictly this lossless. But we need to deploy this and wait for the actor to overwrite the speculator. Because the speculator is able to like explore quickly these suboptimal regions, you convert to the optimal region way faster. And because the actor is deliberate, it will eventually provide enough input such that to make sure that you convert eventually to the optimal region as well.
Amazing. So, is there any follow-up work in plans?
Yeah, we're trying to explore the small effects that because this entire work it kind of is based on the assumption that there's some way or another that you can launch the current speculator calls without irreversibly destroying the environment. Right? You can either fork a process or you can either roll back or there's some sort of a flow forward repair that you can do. So we're trying to explore those things.
I see. Looking forward to that work at the next ICLR, maybe.
Yeah.